Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instructions on completing the task at hand. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to replace the crossover pipe on this 2003 Jaguar XJ8 and this little stubby hose that goes from here over to the thermostat housing. Shouldn't take that long. Drain a little bit of coolant out, take this stuff loose, got 4 bolts and some hose clamps, unplug the sensor, pull that stuff out, put the new hose on, reverse the procedures. It appears that this little short hose here is leaking, which it's a little swollen. It's leaking all the way down the front of the engine, making a real mess. And a lot of times these things kind of deteriorate over time. Not a bad idea to replace them if they're close to 15 years old or older. I like to replace all the coolant hoses every 10 to 15 years, especially when you spring a leak on one. I'll probably have the rest of the hoses replaced within a year. Went by the Jag dealer here in Albuquerque. They did have the 2 parts I needed. The little miniature hose, it's the part number there. Charged $35 for it. The pipe that goes across it, they had it there, $95 for it. So I am ready to rock and roll. Tools and equipment you need to change this short hose and this crossover pipe. If you're going to do that, 8mm 1/4" ratchet, pair of pliers, take the hoses loose, screwdriver, help pry the hoses off in case your pliers can't help you break them loose. The little hose, parts list there, something to catch some coolant in, a rag, a brass brush if you like. Be a better shot of the part number, the short hose, and this is the part number for the crossover tube. This little hose here is leaking, or the bypass, one or the other. You can see all of the stuff down in there. I started the car for a couple seconds and I could hear it oozing out of there, bubbling out. So let me get under the radiator, drain a little bit of the coolant out. They're high on the engine, so if I drain out about a gallon of coolant, that should be enough. On the driver's side, back side of the radiator, there's a little petcock. I'm gonna turn it, let some of the coolant out. Drain out, and only a few drops came out. It'd probably be better if I had the car on ramps. I didn't really want to pick it up on ramps since I was in my apartment complex parking lot. Didn't want them to get concerned. Let me see if I squeeze the hose up top, will some more come out, or if I open up the coolant reservoir. This hose up here, it squirts out down at the bottom into my pan. So I'm just going to milk this hose a little bit until I get about a gallon out. Gallon should be enough to get the coolant out from up here. You can see it down there coming out maybe. I loosened the cap on the reservoir. Now I have a decent stream coming out of the radiator. Spilled some, not too much. I should have enough out. I got about a gallon out. So I'm gonna close that, then I'm gonna put the drain hole back in it. About those drain cocks, they are just hand tight up in there. So you loosen it with your hand, you tighten it back with your hand, got a little seal on it, that should be good. Use pliers, squeeze the clamp, pull the clamp back on the hose, and undo the hose from the crossover pipe. So get you some pliers and do that. Clamp down here, Now I should be able to get this pipe off, break this pipe loose from here, and unhook it. It's going to take 2 hands to break the seal. The hose loose, and you see how soft that crossover pipe is? That thing is actually chipping away, breaking away, so it's a good thing I'm replacing that too. I'm going to pull this little clip out of this cover here, lift that cover up and out of the way so I can access the rest of the hoses in the sensor wire. Straight up, make sure you pull it up as straight as you can so you don't break those tabs on the front of it. This one on the front side broke. See the tip of the tab in there? It's plastic, that's how it goes sometimes. You can try to glue it back on or epoxy it or something like that. Now you can see the rest of how this crossover pipe bolts to there. I got an 8mm bolt there, an 8mm bolt under it, there, cover it with coolant, and I got 2 8mm bolts on this side. So let me get those 8mm bolts off, remove this hose here, unplug this sensor, and take this hose loose here and here. It looks like somebody may have replaced this hose before, and they put a hose on there that was maybe too long, and that's why this hose is rupturing. It has some stress on it. That looked like the OEM clamp there. They probably did that when they replaced the thermostat. 4 screws out. There are 2 on this side and the 2 on the other side. Set them up here. Be careful, don't drop them. Be hard to find them in that maze down there. Now I'm going to take this clamp here loose, unplug that, take that clamp loose. My guess is that one of these clamps was supposed to be on the pipe, the other one was supposed to be up here, and somebody added this clamp here for some reason because they felt more comfortable like that. So I'll decide how I'll go back on with it. It's loose, pried it up out of the hose. Now I'm going to push that tab in and unplug that sensor. I do have a sensor on the new pipe. I really don't see a hole in it, but I see that it's deformed, probably because it had too many clamps on it, and that's probably what damaged this hose. So at any rate, I'm going to clean up the surfaces where this stuff goes. As you can see, the rubber gasket stuck to the head on this side. So I'm going to wipe this stuff, clean this stuff down, and then I'm going to go in with the new parts. But I need to replace this serpentine belt, so I'm going to do that first while these hoses are more or less out of the way. It's going to be easier to do that. Wipe your surfaces clean. Make sure you don't have no buildup. That'll stop your crossover pipe from sealing. You can rub them with a brass wire brush or something like that. Get that stuff cleaned and wipe it off with a rag. And then you're ready to go back together. Now you want to make sure that your pipes are cleaned out. You don't have any pieces of plastic or nothing on them. Make sure that stuff is ready to made up good. You could wire brush this off, clean that off with emery paper or Scotch-Brite pad or something, and then start putting this stuff back together. Now you want to make sure your rubber seals are on both ends of that pipe, and go ahead and get this stuff going together. I'm going to go back with 2 clamps, not 3. These white marks on there so you could put them up, easy to identify them. I slid this one on here. I'm going to put this clamp on it, then I'm going to slide the other clamp up there as well, and then slide it back over once I get it in place. I wet all this stuff with coolant, and that way it's a little easier to go back on, and it doesn't have a dry seal. All 4 of those bolts snug down. It's got a gasket in there. It don't have to be super tight. If I had to guess, I'd say 9 Newton meters at the most. It's just a little bolt. Snug all 4 of those down. Clip all of your hoses on As you see, I don't have 3 clamps on that, just 2. Next, I'm going to set this cover back on, top off the coolant, then I'm going to start the car. I did replace that serpentine belt, and I'm going to look, make sure nothing's dripping down there when it shouldn't be leaking. If I got another leak, it may be the water pump. I don't think so. I should be good to go. Cover goes in there, the 2 tips down in the head, the plugs over the screws. We're good to go, ready to fire it up. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.